Tuesday folk people. My name is Maddie Leedham, and tonight we have the Magpies' own Bella Gaffney joining us for a chat and to perform some of her brilliant music. Winning multiple awards, including the Celtic Connections Danny Kyle Award and Friends of Towsey Festival Award for music development, support and opportunities, Bella is an excellent example of a new generation of folk performers. Her folk-inspired originals and arrangements of traditional songs demonstrate that the future of folk is in safe hands. As part of the reputed Celtic bluegrass band, the Magpies, Bella has graced the stage at some of the top festivals, including Cambridge Folk Festival, Glastonbury and Costa del Folk in Portugal. The Magpies' latest album, Tidings, has received rave reviews, and they were recently played on Mark Radcliffe's Radio 2 folk show. For just under an hour this evening, we are going to explore her brief but fruitful career in folk, the impact she's made on the scene, and to discuss ways in which new young performers can pave the way to success in much the same way she has. So let's welcome the wonderful singer, instrumentalist and songwriter that is Bella Gaffney. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you very much for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Honestly, we're really spoilt to be able to have you today. And I have previously given you a little introduction, so I think now it's time that we hear a song. And I've got 7 Black Roses as your first song. And this is a John Martyn song. And what's this song about?
That's a very good question. It's a John Martyn song. I added some extra lyrics to it myself. And I think when I was growing up and learning to play guitar, John Martyn was always a huge hero of mine. I was so sad that he passed away before I got the opportunity to see him live. The lyrics that I've added to the song are more about sort of hoping that your hopes and dreams can come true. My dream was to be able to play guitar like John Martyn, which I can't, but I keep trying.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
I can see, you can't take that from me. And 7 roses appear in my sight, and they remind me that someday I might look back on the things that I had done. And my 7 black roses, their dreams have lived undone. Shining like black stars in the night. The water like the diamond drops they flow, and between them on his horse, my friend the devil rode. And 7 roses appear in my sight to remind me that one day I might look look back on the things that I had done, and my 7 black roses, the dreams I've left undone.
Absolutely amazing, Bella. Like, the guitar is so virtuosic. I think that you have managed to master John Martyn's style, in my opinion. Not that I'm an expert. And I wanted to ask, the key changes, are they all part of the song as it is?
Yeah. So I tried to learn the original sort of John Martyn solo as it was. I did that off. I think I was watching a YouTube video and trying to figure out what tuning is guitars in, because it has them in all sorts of different tunings. But yeah, I have this sliding capo, which I think is called the glider. I'm not quite sure, but I really like it. I've tried quite a few different ones out, and yeah, it's small. It's got like a spring on it, and you just can pull it up and down the neck. Exactly. I don't know how John Martyn originally did it, because I know that they weren't invented then, so he must have. I don't know. Yeah.
So you write your own songs, as well as obviously doing covers like John Martyn and things. But with your own compositions, do you tend to kind of evoke the style of John Martyn, or do you have a completely different approach to that?
Yeah, I think he was definitely a big influence on me. When I was first learning to play guitar, I listened to a lot of people like sort of Joni Mitchell and Simon and Garfunkel, everyone from that sort of era of folk music. So I think I absorbed a lot of their different techniques and tried to turn it into something that was more my own style. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of influence there. Thank you, John.
And what about with traditional folk? Is there any kind of overlap there?
Yeah, I would say so. I know that John Martyn played quite a lot of traditional material, and yeah, he always did it in a very interesting way with his finger picking stuff like that. But I think when I play traditional songs, I try to reimagine them in a new way if possible, and try and give them a more modern flavour if I can.
Yeah. And what kind of traditional songs are you drawn to?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I like lots of different types of traditional songs, to be honest. They're all so interesting, aren't they?
Yeah.
I really like the sort of more ballad style ones where they tell, because you can just hear some such strange stories, can't you, in traditional folk music. We do one when I play with the Magpies. It's called The Two Magicians, and it's about this blacksmith who was trying to ask this woman out, and she isn't having it, and it turns out she's a shapeshifter, and then she turns herself into a dove and flies off, but he's a shapeshifter as well. And I was doing some research on this song, and I think it originally comes from Wayland the Smithy, the original myth, so back, which is really old. And so it's just amazing that these stories can last for so many centuries and we're still singing them.
Yeah. And am I right in saying that sometimes when you write your own songs, you try and evoke that feeling of the traditional music, trying to fit that kind of narrative almost?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I do like to try and write a song that you wouldn't know whether or not it was modern or traditional. I like to feel like I'm sort of carrying on the canon in that regard.
Yeah. Do you find it difficult trying to do that? Because they've got such a unique style of songs, and like I know that if ever I try to write one, I can't ever seem to get it to sound like that. It sounds like something modern and something new. So do you find it is a challenge for you?
Not. I write when I'm writing for the Magpies in particular, which is the band that I'm in. I always write in a more traditional way, and I don't necessarily find it a challenge. I think because I have listened to so much traditional music, so I think that maybe there are certain tropes and ways that the songs are arranged that they're just sort of there in my brain waiting to be used. So yeah, I quite like that. I think coming up with something that's totally fresh and original is probably harder than writing in a traditional style.
Okay. Well, I think seeing as we've spoken about your original songs, we should hear one. And I've got one here, Blood in the Earth. What is this one about, and what kind of inspired you to write it?
So I wrote it because last year I was taking part in a program called Global Music Match, which is this initiative which was meant to bring musicians together. And whilst we were all locked down in the pandemic, and I ended up on a team with a couple of musicians from Australia called Hussy Hicks. And whilst we were interviewing each other as part of this program, and they were telling us about the sort of terrible flooding and also the horrible drought that they've experienced down in Australia, and they were saying how scary it was, and they stood in their house and they could see this sort of orange sky and smoke coming towards them. I think it sounded absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
So that has inspired me to write the song, and I've recorded it for my album, which is coming out next year. And Lisa from Hussy Hicks is singing it with me as a duet. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh, brilliant. Well, this album I want to go into a bit more detail with a bit later on in the interview. But yeah, for now, let's hear Blood in the Earth.
First came the rain, and it washed the crops away, and it left the empty glade start again. Then came the fire, and it filled the orange sky, and the flames that grew so high it got the plane. This is an old country, this is a hard land, with blood in the earth, iron in the dirt, gold in the veins of this country. And now the sun is beating on the baking soil, and the snakes they are all coiled in the shadows. And it's a new day, and we're praying for a little rain to wash away the pain of yesterday. This is an old country, this is a hard land, with blood in the earth, iron in the dirt, gold in the veins of this country. And no more dry lightning, and no more rain that doesn't fall, and no more dry lightning, and no more rain that doesn't fall. Blood in the earth, iron in the dirt, gold in the veins of this country. Blood in the earth, iron in the dirt, gold in the veins of this country.
Absolutely fantastic. How many instruments do you play? Because obviously we've seen you with the guitar and now the banjo. Is there more in there?
No, mostly guitar, banjo, and I can play a bit of double bass as well, which I think is on that track. yeah.
Amazing. And
My
the
flat's
imagery
not
in
big
that
enough.
song. Oh yeah. The imagery in that song though is just brilliant. And the fact that you can write that about something that you haven't even seen firsthand. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing,
Oh,
honestly.
no, thank you.
Fantastic.
Well, I'd love to go see Australia for myself one day.
Yeah, me too. All the way across the world.
Mm.
So I think now we should explore a bit more the Magpies. And I'm sure so many of our audience have heard of you guys because, I mean, I had before this chat. You're just amazing. You've been described as a band like no other. And how did
Nice.
that come about? How did you form this amazing band?
So originally the Magpies was me and Polly Bolton, and she's a mandolin player who lives in York, and we met each other at a gig. She was playing with Dan Webster, and we just had a jam backstage, and we were like, this is great. It's not often that you meet someone who you sort of really click with musically, so we decided to get together and make a duo. And then later on, we were watching a gig in town together, and we saw Holly Brandon, and I can't remember who she was playing with, but we saw her and we were like, nah, she's great. So we poached her, and then later on, so Polly left to join. She plays with the Trials of Cato now. She's awesome. So we were thinking, how are we gonna replace? Because she's such a great instrumentalist. And we came across Kate Griffin online actually. And yeah, then we met up with her and we were just like, oh wow, because she plays banjo in such an interesting way, and she's got like such a lovely voice as well. So
Yeah.
we just had a great time. We just come back from tour. We've been all over. I'm knackered. We had a great time. I really miss them now. We spent it like every hour of every day together for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. And was that touring your new album? What's it called? Is it Tidings?
Yeah, this is Tidings. So we basically we were on tour with Tidings in March last year when the lockdown happened. So we've been sort of trying to reschedule it ever since. So we finally managed to get out and take it on tour. But yeah, we're making plans for our new album, which is it's exciting. That should be coming out next year as well.
Amazing. Did you feel that there was like a shift in the tour that you did before March and the tour that you did just?
How do you mean a shift in?
Like just the environment and the audience and stuff, because obviously before it was cancelled because of COVID, we were all kind of ignorant to this terrible trauma that's all happened, and then you've just done it again. And did you feel that people were kind of different, or you were treated differently by venues or anything? Was it the same?
Yeah, I think it's been hard, like persuading people that they want to come inside and sit, with a group of other people. It has been difficult. The tour, because what's happened, which is quite strange, is that for some venues, we'd sell a certain amount of tickets, but not everyone would come. And previously, like, it was very unusual that you'd get a lot of people not turn up. Like, if you bought a ticket, they would come. But now it's more, I think, if you're feeling a bit unwell or, you get a tickle in your throat or something, that people are more inclined to just not come out. But I think really, everywhere we go, everywhere we went, people were just they were saying that this is the first first bit of live music that we've seen in 18 months, and they just seemed just so thrilled to be out and about and seeing live music.
Relieved to finally be able to witness music in person. That's how I feel.
Because it's not the same as it digitally. I mean, it's amazing how innovative people have been over lockdown to like keep pushing and getting the arts out there. But there's something special about being in a room that we've definitely missed.
Definitely. And can you explain the Magpies sound? Because when I was doing loads of reading on it, there was all sorts of different things. And so I thought I'd just get it right from the horse's mouth. How would you describe the music that you play?
I think we've got a really funny strapline at the moment. What does it say? Something like transatlantic neo-folk, which is a bit of a mouthful. What we try to do is to play music from the UK folk scene. We play music from that's more Americana influenced, and what we do is try to mix the genres in some way, so we can maybe take a song which is traditionally English and play it from an American style, or vice versa. So we just like to take from those different influences and try and make something unique. And we'd like to call it transatlantic. I don't know if that's a real thing.
Well, I think you've definitely managed that. It's just, I do think it's so unique. And I was trying to figure out why it's unique. And obviously what you do with the music is unique, but I think another reason is just at how skilled you all are at your instruments, because you can sing and you've got that, and it's amazing, but then you can just jam out on the instruments, and literally it's captivating, it's incredible. And I think there are a lot of amazing female musicians out there, but I don't think you were exposed to them as much as the males, and so to see like a group of all females just rocking on their instruments, it's just amazing, and it just really inspires me, I think, to get better
really
at instruments.
I think you see it much more maybe north of the border, in Scotland and Ireland. You get female, usually fiddle players, who are just absolutely amazing. But you don't see it so much, I think, in England, and we just wanted to celebrate that, really, and just to go out there and prove that we can do it too, and we have a great time.
And you certainly can. It's just brilliant. And when did you guys form as a group?
So I think I met Polly in 2017, but we've only been playing as a trio with Kate for about maybe a year now, maybe less actually. It's been a bit crazy because with lockdown, and because Holly's been in, she lives sort of just north of London, and I'm up in York, Kate's in Sheffield, so we haven't actually had that much time to really get together and practice. I mean, we practice a lot now that we've been on tour, but it's been a bit of a wild time in trying to just. I think there's something to that, like if you sort of under pressure and you know that you have to get it done, then sometimes you just do, don't you? Or maybe we just work well under pressure, I don't know.
Well, what I wanted to kind of point out was that obviously 2017 was like the beginning, and in the 4 years since then, has it been 4 years? Yeah, you've managed to play at Glastonbury, at Cambridge Folk Festival, you've been on Mark Radcliffe's Radio 2 programme, you've just managed to absolutely conquer the folk scene, and that's just incredible in that short amount of time. How does it feel to know that you've managed to get that far in such a short space of time?
I feel really proud of us and my bandmates. I think we all work really hard, and I'm always amazed that people want to come and see us. So I'm just grateful that we get to go out and do that, and hopefully we can continue to do it.
Yeah.
Well, there's
another thing that you said to me when we spoke before about the Magpies Festival, and I wanted to know how that went.
Oh wow, it was amazing. It was Holly Brandon's hard work that made that happen. It was always been her dream to be a festival director, and because of circumstances with COVID, she got the opportunity to do it, which some people might think was a really daft idea to put on a festival whilst all the rest of them were being cancelled, but somehow pulled it off. And it was amazing. We had Sam Kelly's headlining. Basically, it's so fun to be able to like create a festival lineup of people that you love. It's like creating the best party ever.
Yeah.
We had I think it was Brass Castle Brewery, who did a stellar job on the beers. So thanks to those guys. Maybe too good. And yeah, we're going to run it again next year. We've got early bird tickets on sale at the moment, and we're expanding to do it 2 days instead of just one this time.
And that's up in Yorkshire, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Sutton Park, which is a stately home just outside of York. And yeah, so they let us run it in the gardens there, which is it's such a beautiful setting for the festival. Like, we're really lucky that we got that space.
Well, yeah, I was thinking, not only are the Magpies creating amazing music to enrich our folk scene, but you're also celebrating the other music that's out there, and so you're just contributing to the folk scene. I think that's just brilliant. So excellent. And I'm definitely going to check out the festival for next year, and I suggest our audience do the same. But I think it's time for our third song now, which is Black Water. What's this one about?
So this song I wrote, it would have been last August, I think. It was when we were briefly allowed out of lockdown, and I went to the Yorkshire Dales for a little holiday, and it was we're staying right on the River Wharf, which is a beautiful river, and I was really missing sort of my family and friends at the time. And the river I was looking at the waterway, and it goes from where I was all the way past various loved ones, and the waterways connect through to York. So I wrote this song to sort of celebrate the river.
Down where the black water flows and over the bridge that we call home, down where the rocks are growing old, that's where we'll be. Black water passes me by, old forces bringing new life, stepping stones to the other side, that's what we need. Another road, another step, another stone, taking me back home. Black water flow from the dale to sea, the water runs from you to me. The secrets that we keep, black water flow. Voices sing, the lost soul still lingering with no way home. Footsteps are in the sand, they lead me to the riverbank, and we're all strangers in this land, we're moving on. Another road, another step, another stone, taking me back home. Black water flow from the dale to sea, the water runs from you to me. The secrets that we keep, black water flow. They say the blood is thick, but the water runs deep. The music that we share is a bond we keep. They say the blood is thick, but the water runs deep. The music that we share, the music that we share is a bond we keep. Another road, another step, another stone, taking me back home. Black water flow from the dale to sea, the water runs from you to me. The secrets up we keep like water flow. The secrets up we keep, the secrets up we keep like water flow.
Absolutely amazing. So this song is a celebration of like the river, and obviously Yorkshire is in there, or York is in there. You were born and raised in Yorkshire, and how much does your kind of your homeland, well, home place, play? Like, what role does that play in your music, in your songwriting? Does it kind of ever interweave?
Yeah, I think so. What do they say? You can take the girl out of Yorkshire, but you can't take Yorkshire out of the girl. No, I think it's super important to me. I've yet to meet a Yorkshire person who isn't horribly proud of of Yorkshire, but it's a really inspiring landscape, I think, and also just an interesting place to grow up. And I learned, I went to the local folk club in Bradford, where I'm from, every week for years, and to going to the sing arounds and sort of learning the songs that I learned them from the local people there, and sort of picked up how to play and how to sort of perform. So yeah, that's interesting to me. And being from Bradford, which is such an interesting and sort of diverse place, is quite inspiring as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say, by the way, that Blackwater, I've just released it as a single. So if anyone wants to have a listen, it's on Spotify and
Check it
all
out.
the places now. Yeah.
Nice. So is Bradford quite a good folky area? Obviously you had the folk club, but is there a lot going on?
Yeah, I think there is. You've got, just trying to think now, because obviously some of the venues have shut down since lockdown and whatever. But I just remember growing up, I just felt surrounded by musicians. They just sort of seemed to come out of the woodwork. Everywhere I turned, there was like someone playing banjo or something. Yeah, I think there's just definitely a culture of it. Loads of sort of sessions in the pubs and stuff like that. There's Saltaire Live, which is so Saltaire sort of just outside of Bradford, and they put on some really awesome concerts there, and they get in loads of interesting people. So like bands like the East Pointers and stuff from Canada, and like do you know Molly Tuttle from America?
No, I don't.
She's so good. She is the best guitarist that you'll see. And I got her over. Yeah, you should. Like, gosh, love her.
Amazing. Because one thing I wanted to look at a bit was a lot of the projects you were in as a young musician, and how that's kind of helped you to get here, because you won the Celtic Connections Award, which got you into like perform at the festival. What exactly is that? Because I'm a bit hazy on it.
Well, it's a really good opportunity for young musicians. So I think if you're listening and you're under 25, you should apply for it, because it's great. What you do is you send them some tracks, and if they like you, they invite you up to the competition, and it takes place in. It's in one of the smaller rooms in the massive theatre in the middle of Glasgow. I can't remember what it's called. But it's just an amazing opportunity, and you get up there and play your set, and then they pick I think it's 4 winners. So then I went back again to do the the sort of winners concert that year, which was amazing. And then the year after, they book you to play at the festival itself. So I supported the Ennis sisters, who are in their class. They're so funny. Like, there's one of my favorite thing about folk music is the amount of comedy that you get. When I go see other genres, I'm like, well, where are all the terrible puns? Like, so, but yeah, it's a really nice opportunity, and I got lots of stuff out of that. Like, made some good connections, because it's a showcase event, really. So you get to meet sort of industry people there as well. Yeah, so beyond that, I played in a band called Bric-a-Brac, which we were basically, I went to university in Nottingham, and I met this fiddle player called Chris Elliott whilst I was there. He's such a great fiddle player, and he writes amazing songs. He's got this beautiful voice. And then we actually, his now wife, I went to their wedding last month. It was really sweet, actually. She plays the whistle and also writes beautiful songs as well. We play with a bassist called Heather Cyril, and so yeah, then we played a lot in the sort of Midlands area for a couple of years. But unfortunately, we had to stop because we all moved to different corners of the country. But yeah, Chris and Kate still play together as a duo, and yeah, they're really good. They're very, very sort of English folk in a way, which I like. I think it's maybe a bit underappreciated because. I think in Ireland, Scotland and Wales, there's far more of a cultural appreciation for their folk traditions. In England, It's not so much. I think everyone just assumes it's all Morris dancing and which, bloody Morris dancers. Sorry if I offended anyone.
It's all right. But it wasn't just Celtic Connections, was it? You also did Halsey Manor, which is is that like a folk retreat?
It's so Halsey Manor's down. Where is it? It's in Dorset. Very far away
Somerset,
from me.
I think.
Somerset, yeah. You drive past Stonehenge to get to it, which was cool. But yeah, so I went. It was like a writing retreat, and they put us together with lots of other sort of young folk musicians, and we just received some sort of industry advice, and just did workshops, and generally I had a really awesome time just getting to know people, and that was wonderful. It's worth a visit at Halsey Manor. They do lots of different sort of workshops and stuff. Like I think at the moment they've got a guitar course, but they're very folky and really nice place.
So would you say that these initiatives that you took part in as a young musician were quite integral to where you're at now and how successful you've been as a folk professional?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I know there's definitely a few key people that I met along the way who've given me some, really important opportunities. And I think that's why we need to sort of support young musicians because it's very hard to make money as a musician, and you need all the advice that you can get. So these sorts of initiatives they're really crucial, I think. And Arts Council England as well, I have to do a huge shout out to them because they have been really supportive of applications for different projects during the years. So thank goodness for them. Else none of this stuff would have ever got, I wouldn't have been able to make any of the albums and stuff because it's just so expensive.
So if there's anyone watching who is a young performer or who knows a young performer who is like struggling to get out there, these are some like really good initiatives to get yourself not alone trying to get out there.
No, check out English Folk Expo, EFTA, which is the English Folk Song and Dance Society, I think. And on their websites we've got links to these different opportunities and bursaries and schemes like that to help young musicians.
Yeah. Fantastic. Now we're running out of time, and there's one thing that I wanted to just explore just before we have your final song, and that is what you've previously mentioned, which is Global Music Match. And so you're currently writing an album with Dan Webster, is that right?
Yeah, so Dan's producing my album, yeah.
So what is this all about then, this album?
So, yeah, what happened was over lockdown I was doing this Global Music Match, and I just met all these interesting musicians from around the world. And I had an idea for an album which would, involve collaborating with different artists and just getting different new spins on songs and stuff like that. And so it was kind of the idea of sort of lockdown connections that I've made. And so I've got some people from Global Music Match going to be featured on the album, and also some musicians from the UK who, in a sort of pre-digital age, I would never have had the opportunity to sort of connect with. So yeah, that's the idea behind it, and it'll be out next year. Hoping to take it on tour in April 2022.
And will that be like an international tour?
Oh, I wish. No, I think the plan is for now just to take it on tour in the UK, and then if it's well received, maybe I could look to trying to book some concerts internationally. Yeah.
How exciting. So what countries should we expect to see featuring on this album?
So I've got Lisa from Australia. I've got a double bass player from America, Matt Mefford. From the UK, I've got Sam Kelly, which is really cool. I've got someone from Estonia, someone from, where are they from now? Finland. And I'm going to ask someone I know from Canada as well. So yeah,
That's
it should
amazing.
be a global.
A global match. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's such a great initiative, connecting all of these different folk styles and folkies. And what a great album that'll be. It's a proper like unity kind of album. It's great.
I might have to get you to write my press release.
I'm on it. Fantastic. Well, yeah, we are out of time, unfortunately. There's more I want to explore kind of with that. It's amazing. But let's have your final song now, which is Blue. Just before you tell us about this, I just want to say a huge thank you for coming along and chatting to us. It's been amazing and a real privilege for us. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind. Thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
So what's this song about before we hear it?
Blue. It's definitely more of your traditional singer-songwriter style, heartbreak, love, etc. Not much more to it than that, to be honest.
Shrinking from your touch. Each day is just a little too much. I've been waiting for a call. I don't think that it will come at all. I'm blue when I'm not with you, and there's no way I can see this through. Maybe there's another way I can make it through just one more day. So blue. Just the way we're made. Should I go or should I stay? I'm blue when I'm not with you, and there's no way I can see this through. And maybe there's another way I can make it through just one more day. So blue. Saw you last night in my dreams. So sweet, I swear that it was real, but things aren't always what they seem. You stack the deck before you deal. I'm blue when I'm not with you, and there's no way I can see this through. And maybe there's another way I can make it through just one more day. So blue when I'm not with you, and there's no way I can see this through. And maybe there's another way I can make it through just one more day. So blue.
Thank you very much for watching. To find out more information about our future Tuesday Folk People sessions, please sign up to our mailing list or keep an eye on our social media and website. Our next session will be a week from today at 8 p.m. See you then.